Should I 26 meters tell my GF 26F that her family is one of the main reasons I am ending the relationship? I have made the decision to part ways with my girlfriend, and I do not want to simply say it is over and walk away. I am not trying to read out an essay either, but I want to at least let her know why I feel it is not a good fit in a few sentences. One of these reasons is related to her family. My GF is incredibly close to her mom and has always lived at home. I do not believe there is anyone, romantic partner included, that could come close to being as important to my GF as her mom. The issue is that my GF bends over backward, allows herself to be gaslighted, and hurts herself because of this intense attachment she has for her mom. As an example, her mom was worried about my GF talking about her in therapy, so her mom, even in front of me, gave my GF the silent treatment and made it extremely uncomfortable to be around her. My GF tried explaining that she would not talk about her in therapy, but her mom said she could not trust her. After a week of this, my GF suspended therapy indefinitely, so without explicitly saying so, her mom stopped my GF, a frontline health worker during a pandemic, from accessing therapy. And at the same time, my GF started to internalize these ideas of untrustworthiness, and that she was not being fair to her mom. After a few painful discussions where I was sometimes dismissed because I did not know the whole story, I at least made it to a point where my GF stopped believing it was 100% her fault. This happened a few months ago, and now every minute I have to spend at my girlfriend's house is mentally and emotionally taxing. I have to pretend that I am okay, that my GF's mom is manipulative and deeply hurting one of her kids. I have to put on the good boyfriend act constantly, and I do not feel like I can ever talk about it anymore with my partner because she thinks it will get better if we move in together. But I cannot imagine 26 years of behavioral patterns improving suddenly with a bit more distance. We will still be in the same city if we had moved in together. It obviously does not address the underlying issue, and because my girlfriend wants her mom to continue to be a centerpiece in her life, I feel like moving out is likely to change very little. All of this has definitely made me become more distant in the relationship. I am just not excited to spend time with my girlfriend because her family is always around, and even when we get out, I cannot stop thinking about the toxic behavior that goes unaddressed. I also think about integrating my life into that web, and all it does is give me anxiety. It is strange. All my serious relationships have been with people, with distant families that hated me for racial reasons. It definitely was not fun. But because my partner had very little contact and a minimal relationship with their family, it actually was not that terrible to navigate. My current GF's family absolutely loves me, but it is oppressive, and I feel like I am dating the family as much as I am dating the woman. TLDR, my girlfriend self-sacrifices herself to an extreme to protect her relationship with her manipulative mom. It is depressing, gives me anxiety, and I do not want to become enmeshed in the family. Is it productive to let her know this was a deciding factor in ending the relationship? If you tell her, then it will give her ample time to change the dynamic so she can have a successful relationship in the future. She may not appreciate it now, but in due time she will likely look back on this as one of her first signs that there truly was a problem with her relationship with her mother. Thank you. I think that makes a lot of sense. We have talked about this issue before and it has not really gone anywhere. But that does not mean this would not be meaningful at some point. I obviously cannot control how the message is received, but I owe her my truth. I think you should write her a letter and talk to her briefly, or however long she can handle it, and give her the letter. Make the letter much like the post you wrote above, and include more examples of ways mother is hurting her and her kids. Explain that you love her but it causes you pain and anxiety to see her treated this way. Accepting and going along with it, and feeling pressured to pretend it is okay. Also, that you do not want to be in a family with this dynamic, and since your girlfriend accepts it all, that means if you become a family with her, it will also be a family that revolves around mom's manipulations. If you ever had children, You'd have to watch grandmother hurt the children or your relationship would not work, and you cannot accept that. Also share your feelings that you feel second to mom in the relationship and like no one can compare to her relationship with mom. It is extremely telling mom made her cut off therapy because she is worried daughter will talk about her in therapy. To me this says mom knows what she is doing is unhealthy for her daughter and so worries a therapist would teach girlfriend to be a healthy independent adult and harder to control. I would tell your girlfriend this, that if mom cared about her well-being and did not think she was doing anything wrong to girlfriend, then she had have nothing to fear from a therapist. And you sincerely hopes girlfriend returns to therapy, discusses her mother, and just does not tell mother she is going. Your girlfriend needs to hear these things. She is being harmed by someone who raised her to be manipulated by them, so it is her normal and very hard for her to see and break away from. You do not have to stay in a situation that is bad for you, but if you care about her, you should really tell her, so she can reflect on it over time and maybe eventually realize you were right. Start to notice the patterns you pointed out, think about what you said, and hopefully, her next relationship will be more successful. This is why I think the letter would be helpful. She can look back over it later when she is less blindsided and has calmed down, and can maybe think about things. Be sure to tell her in the letter and in person that you care about her a great deal, and you are telling her this in hopes that she can someday end up in a more emotionally healthy situation for herself and her children, since you hate to see them mistreated like this and her feel guilt and blame herself when she has done nothing wrong. Please do not give her a letter that her mother could find and read. I think it would be a kindness to share your concerns with her and be honest about why you cannot continue in the relationship. It may be a wake-up call, or it may not, but you will know that you tried. It is the truth. So if you feel you need to tell it to her, then by all means do so. It will be too late for your relationship, but this might be the thing that helps your soon-to-be ex finally cut the strings with her mom. Tell her the truth. It would not save this relationship, but she might realize what it is costing her if she does not make some changes in her life. As they say in the Just No subreddits, it is better to dump the so than divorce them. Hopefully she sees that she cannot have a healthy relationship with anyone until she changes the relationship with her mother. All my breakups with reasonable people have been roughly hour-long conversations. As long as she is not screaming at you or anything like that, I think that if you can, it is the kindest thing to be prepared to give the person as much information as possible. It really sucks in the moment for both them and you, but I believe it makes it easier in the long run. Her mother is a narcissist and your GF needs to know that it is okay for her to see that. I have tried telling her this before with as much tact as I could muster, and I opened up a lot about my own family because my father has many similar narcissistic tendencies. But she either gets slightly defensive or says she will deal with it when she is out of the house. I feel a real lack of security in the relationship because this is a critical issue, and I am just rolling the slot machine hoping that it lands on all sevens and things get better quickly when it has been like this with her mom for more than 2 decades. Have you tried having a conversation with her where you are more blunt before breaking up? Of course you can break up if you want to. Just asking, like telling her that you are considering ending the relationship over this. It causes you anxiety, and how her mother acts is not okay. Maybe having returned to therapy a condition for continuing, and she does talk about her mother, and couples therapy for the two of you, or even just being clear instead of tactful that this hurts you to watch, causes you anxiety, and you do not at all feel confident things will change if you do not see any change happening now. Telling her that you cannot continue in the relationship without actually seeing change. He sounds like he is checked out of the relationship. She made the effort to go to therapy, which mommy dearest put a stop to. There are reasons. Mommy knows she is crazy and does not want her kid to figure it out and walk away. Your only hope is getting her back into therapy. She needs someone completely objective to explain to her what her mom is doing. Good luck, and be prepared to walk away, for your own mental health. I was raised by a single mom and I was always very close to my mom. We had definitely developed some toxic patterns that sound similar to what you describe above. What made me realize that I needed to set some boundaries and stick to them was going to therapy. Her mom will continue to emotionally blackmail her, manipulate her and make decisions for her until she sets her boundaries. It's going to be very difficult at first, but this will allow them to develop a better and much healthier relationship. This will also allow your GF to have much better and healthier relationships in the future. First, I am so sorry that you and your girlfriend have been in this situation. I definitely would tell her. Some people truly do not realize they are in a toxic situation until someone points it out, or they lose something important to them because of a toxic relationship. I've been quite fond with narc parents, and so, your GF is an enabler, and what that does is, they see the bad, but since her parents still do good things for her, they believe they are just being idiots treating their parents like so, and that parents must care if they are doing those good things. The thing is, narcs don't always treat their subjects awful. They need to do the love bombing in order to keep them around. Plus gaslighting does wonders on this. I honestly don't believe your GF will change her view on her parents. I've tried with a friend of mine. Nope, not even a single bit. They just keep believing that parents must love their kids. I've broken up with a BF because of his parents. They just treated me awful, like I wasn't enough for his son, but were kind of respectful when I was around. The thing is, he used to tell me what his parents said about me, and he never stood up for me, not even once. He allowed his parents to treat me awful and for me to fight with them. Definitely a big issue and a real reason to break up. I have the same problem with my GF. You will never ever be able to break your girlfriend's relationship to her toxic mother. That is something she is going to have to do herself, and if she is not ready to realize this herself, then there is nothing you can do. It looks like you have got a lot of the answers to the questions you are struggling with already, but acknowledging it, going through with it will be difficult. At the end of the day, you cannot rescue someone from a borderline codependent abusive relationship unless they recognize that not everything is kosher with the way things are. You have not mentioned how long you have been in this relationship, but I think unless you are very committed to going the distance for this young woman, the most you can do is try to focus on some specific behaviors which show how she is being taken advantage of, as you make your exit. This is just me, my opinion, take it or leave it. I would sit GF down and tell her that your view of marriage is just two people being as close to one another as possible. No third parties involved. The relationship belongs to just the married couple. The parents may have views on things, but their views should not overpower the couple's views. Ask her how does she see that working with you two, and have a serious conversation, not an emotional one. You seem to have decided the GF will not break away, and you are there. You know better than we readers, but you never know, your GF could surprise you. If she makes her choice, then at least she will understand why it did not work out, and that it is not down to her but down to the situation. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos.